Welcome back, my delinquents. We're watching The Witcher 4 tech demo so we can see if it's actually going to be good or not, and this will kick me in the ass to maybe replay the games. Oh, let's get into it. It already has like 2 million views in 14 hours.
This is a technological showcase set in the world of The Witcher 4. What you just saw and are going to see
Someone
now,
walking. Okay, I have been warned that the tech demo tends to look better for Witches than what you're gonna get, but still pretty good.
is running on a standard PlayStation 5 at 60 FPS with ray tracing. So in the game, you'll be playing as Ciri, a professional monster slayer, a Witcher.
Someone on Twitter reads, "No, not Ciri," for some bloody reason.
She explores the world and hunts down monsters for coin. The region we are in is called Kovir.
Will we
And you'll
get some
the
some Geralt fan service? Like, it needs to be
story
done.
in a game. Right now, Ciri is investigating a monster, and after gathering new clues, she is heading back to a nearby village. All right, everyone, meet Kelpie.
I was warned about the
Weeds, Kelpie.
the majesticness of this horse.
So just like Geralt had Roach, Ciri has her own loyal companion.
We return to town.
These two characters need to feel like one. Since you're gonna explore the world on horseback, riding needs to feel seamless, natural, and just fun.
Yeah, and to support that, we're introducing multi-character motion matching in Unreal. So Ciri and Kelpie, they're perfectly synchronized when mounting from any angle and speed. And we also support root motion movement on Kelpie, so controlling her feels realistic and
A level of accuracy almost no one would have noticed. I'm gonna be for real, but like, I guess that's cool.
grounded. And there are also some really nice improvements to our Unreal Chaos Flesh Solver and these machine-learned deformations. So you've got realistic muscles moving and stretching under Kelpie's skin without compromising the performance there.
Okay, that is cool, but
So let's
I feel like this is the reason games are like 200 gigabytes.
leave Ciri behind for a second and talk about the world itself. So much of the Witcher world is natural, organic, especially Kovir with its dense forest and wild nature.
Yeah, and wild nature is hard. And with nanite geometry, we've freed artists from so many of their old constraints. But we don't want to rest until everything we do in Unreal has that same spirit of freedom. There's always more work to do. And foliage is a huge piece of that puzzle. So we are excited to introduce nanite foliage. And in order to achieve
They're clapping. I don't know what the fuck that is. But okay. I would make fun of any game, like other game, for going too hardcore on the realism when, you know, what matters most is the game's good. But The Witcher is known for like a very gritty, real aesthetic, so I can understand paying attention to this.
gorgeous foliage density everywhere, while still being memory efficient, fast to render, we believe that a new idea was needed. So instead of the same card approach we've been using for the past 20 years, artists should be free to take a nanite approach to foliage, modeling every single leaf and pine needle. And the old LOD tricks of
So-
the past, they needed a complete
So how many artists wanted to like end it all if they were spending time fucking modeling pine needles?
rethink. And in their place, it's a new adaptive voxel representation in nanite. It's volumetric, it's fully 3D, it is super fast to render. And these dense clusters of triangles turn into these cubes, which at a distance, they're no larger than a pixel, and they react to the changing light of our dynamic sun and our shadows, and they allow artists to render whatever amount of foliage is needed to achieve their vision without compromise.
And no compromise means how ambitious we are when it comes to bringing our vision to life with incredible visuals. But more than that, together with Epic, we created faster way to load the world. We can now bring in more content more quickly for the smoothest possible experience as we fly down to catch up with Ciri.
Because the content's the most important part. Like, it's impressive to look at, but all it is to look at until you see, you know, the goods. You need the
Welcome to
goods.
Valdrest. So Valdrest is a port town, a hub for fishing, trade, and mining. It's one of those places where you can meet shady characters or overhear gossip from other lands. It's also where Ciri took on her current contract. High-tech, let's leave Kelpie here and explore the marketplace and food.
And the missus?
I'm so excited we can finally show you some of this stuff. Let's see what Valdrest has to offer.
Not her again.
Spat at him. What a bitch. I do like that it looks very lived in, because, you know, some fantasy worlds, Witcher doesn't do it as bad as some others, but, like, they look barely lived in.
Nine gazes while I present him with a fish. For the furry rascal will often wait, and a bear's weight grants good fortune. For this feat,
Pardon.
Guys, notice how responsive the world is. Character actions directly affect what happens around you, sometimes even setting off chain
Look at the
reactions.
piggies.
Everything is working together.
See, that's the kind of stuff I like to see. Actions, reactions. That's what I like to see, you know, connecting, like, the world expanding to, not just higher graphics.
Oh, look at this poor gentleman being taught how to fly by an angry innkeeper. That's what
Taught how
happens
to
when you
fly.
cheat at Gwent.
Last of it, is it? Ready to wait.
Okay, so this is the guy who gave the series quest his own. Like you probably suspect, he has his own agenda in all of this.
You off your tits again, Wilfred. Get your ass up.
A typical day's toil.
Who in? Witcheress. What news of my wagons? No eternity is taking that damn salt to arrive.
I found them. And, well, suffice to say, they'll not reach you. As for the salt, I found not one speck. I presume this comes as no surprise to you. Now. Kavir's smuggling trade is of no concern.
Okay, I just want to point out here that people were agreeing on Twitter that Ciri looks ugly. All I can think of is how pretty she looks. What are they talking about, guys?
The manticore that flattened your cart and devoured your men? Quite the opposite.
Manticore? No, them winged hellspawn dwell in the arse end of Creighton, not here.
While Ciri decides what to do about that merchant, let's take a look at the character technology that powers this marketplace. Why don't we listen in on these fishmongers? They're selling their wares, chatting up customers.
Morning, catch this is. Won't find none fresher.
Reckon me lady's after one of them.
Comes. Get this cleaned and gutted for you. You mind, dearest? Into seeing some and more. Got mackerel cod, all Braxton's finest.
And there is tons of tech at play here, even in this simple market stall. Metahuman tools, improved Unreal Smart Objects, Chaos Cloth, and more.
Yeah, and all of this exists to make sure that the gap in quality between Ciri and NPCs is as small as possible.
Sweetest.
Yeah, and closing that gap, it's not just about fidelity, right, but also authenticity. They should react to changes in the world around them.
But the prisoner in pillory is an
I always wondered what the peasants were hiring.
exciting enough for Valdrest. Let's grab everyone's attention with a circus.
One day someone getting hanged, other day a festival.
But the great performance
Do I get it
deserves
like
huge
a
crowd.
poet, like just like in the other ones?
Let's crank it up.
Gets to come around and annoy me.
So you are seeing tons of optimizations here to many of Unreal systems, including an entirely new Unreal animation framework, allowing us to fit easily in our 60 FPS budget, not just in rendering, but also with room to spare on the game thread. Over 300 animated skeletal mesh agents all going about their business.
These witches, that's what all I'm hearing. It's like, burn the witch, I don't understand what they're saying this.
And the whole point is to leave breathing room for developers like you to introduce the gameplay and the systems that your players expect, empowering you to make your worlds come to life without Unreal standing in your way.
You are right. And that's the open world RPG that we're making. But before we wrap up, how about one final check-in with Siri? We are making this game to be the most immersive and ambitious open world Witcher game ever. And we are making this a
It is amazing to see this kind of stuff, and this came from like building up the world, like through everything, and now it looks like something so real
reality thanks
and
to our
immersive.
work on Unreal with the team at Epic. I think what we're doing together is going to bring in a new generation of open world RPGs, and I'm so proud of what we accomplished so far.
We are too.
So we're almost done, but before we go, here's a small gift for all Witcher fans.
What is
A
it?
first look at La Nexeta.
Onward, Kelby.
I totally remember this stuff. For real,
We
for real.
what?
Sure, sure. I remember shit. I even watched the TV series. I'm like, man, I don't remember. My brain is not
Thanks,
a sponge. It is like a brick.
Seriously, it looks amazing. And we've also barely scratched the surface of what's coming in Unreal 5.6. So here's Julien to tell you even more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Looking promising, honestly, though.
Hey everyone, great to be here in Orlando. I spent a lot of time on this demo, so I'm happy to be the one to talk about what went into the 5.6 release. An open world like that was just the perfect content to focus on our main goal for the release, which was performance. We want the engine
I'm assuming that's performance. I need subtitles. Let's turn on the subtitles. Now the accent's a bit too thick. Let's do it.
to scale to large and rich worlds. We want to preserve graphics quality. And of course, we
Okay.
want to deliver high frame rates that you and your players expect. So let's check it out.
That looks a bit
Starting
more
with
realistic there to what you'd probably get from
If
your
you all
PlayStation.
remember, when we released Nanite with UE5, it supported static geometry. Last year, we brought skinning to Nanite. And now, we're working on Nanite foliage. The only way to have a forest that looks as good as this one is to use 3D geometry for all parts of the trees, just like we do for everything else. However, this is a crazy amount of fine geometry.
Man,
So-
they are really hyped up about the trees.
So we have to rethink our trees. These 28 little parts that you see are all that we use to build all
Hold,
presentations.
this is all tree.
And
He's
run more shows.
talking about tree for 6
Nanite
minutes.
foliage is almost compared to when UE5 was released. And because of that, we can now hit 60 FPS on consoles. And finally, we rewrote the rendering pipeline to run asynchronously so you can increase the richness of your scenes even more. Now let's talk about chaos physics. For chaos cloth, we improve our cloth-to-cloth constraint solution. This removes a lot of collision evaluation when garments are piling up and interacting with each other. Even for complex setup like Series Cape, we hit a sub-millisecond budget on PS5. With Chaos Flesh, we introduce procedural muscle activations to make deformation and motion more natural. Your artist will still have control over tetrahedral simulation and train ML models that run fast in real time. We now support the baking of fluid surface data into lightweight assets to be played back at low cost. This is going to give you high fidelity water without the performance cost of real-time fluid simulation. For animation, we work on
That's
both
interesting, but-
performance and fidelity. Here, you can see how Siri and Kelpie match up in their interaction. Well,
I do feel like the average gamer would not notice a lot of this.
that works no matter the angle of approach.
Like this is
That's
very
how-
like the artist or the designer would, but
Our modes character motion matching solution. We also added motion matching in Sequencer to build stitch tracks. With them, you can seamlessly transition from gameplay to cinematic.
yeah, see that's something more a gamer would notice automatically, but
Also,
something
we
a
now
bit
have a
interesting in the
secondary layer
gameplay.
of animation driven by physics in Control Rig. We used it in Kelpie's rig to drive the mane, the tail, and the saddleback. And now, I'm happy to announce that all these features are already integrated into our new Unreal Animation framework, which we are releasing as experimental in 5.6.
So I'm guessing this is also a bit of a, because it's the tech demo, like of the kind of demo for Unreal in general, I guess.
We built it with performance
yeah, see,
first
State
in
of
mind.
Unreal 2025. I should have read the title
Animation-
more. God damn it.
Evaluation are now running in parallel of the game thread, which was our
So I guess-
bottleneck.
That's actually a good sign for Witcher 2 that they're using it to really show off what it can do. So
And for the other
So it
character
means you're gonna
systems
see
that
some
are
interesting
just
stuff.
as costly, like movement, avoidance, state tree behaviors, we also move them to worker threads. This is really going to help you create scenes that are crowded and lively.
yeah, but we're in it for The Witcher, so yeah, we'll leave it like that. They're interesting, and I am interested in some of the stuff they're making, but honestly, I never touched Unreal Engine when I was game designer. It's been years now since I've gone into it. I was concept, so unless you wanted me to squiggle some lines, I don't know what the fuck you... I'm like, what the fuck are these words? What are you saying to me? Man, it's really reminding me, it's been a long time since I've touched it. But yeah, I think it looks good. It does... I like the way Siri looks so far. I don't know if I'm excited yet, maybe, but I'm like playing Elden Ring and some other things first, so I don't know if I'm ready to pick up The Witcher again to keep playing. So maybe when it's getting closer to its release. But tell me what you think in the comments below. Gaming channel, my dear Linkwins, and don't forget to like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you next time.